So we joined this project already in progress. A couple of days ago, maybe last week, I turned on the hose, that green hose right there, and noticed that there was a little bit of water right here. And I thought, oh, there's just a leak in the hose, and I must not have ever noticed it because usually it's watering the flower bed over there. And it was just a tiny leak, like just a little bit of, like the dirt was just a little bit wet. But then 3 or 4 days later, it's still wet, and Sam had mentioned it, and I said, oh, it's probably just a leak in the hose. And Sam, using logic, said, why would it still be leaking if it's not on? So then we figured that there's probably some pipe under here that is leaking. And so Sam dug up a little bit of it and then figured out it was under this concrete slab that's our awesome driveway. So since we have all the hay off, he had some time today. Tractor lift up the slab, and what he found was this little piece of tubing that was a foot in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
maybe 18 inches, but yeah.
I'm not a plumber or know anything about plumbing, but I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be a lot deeper than that. But, you know, details. So it was also surrounded by a whole bunch of this really sharp kind of shale rock. And I don't know how, maybe just the vibration of the water running through it, but it's got a nick right here. It's got a nick right here. It's got a big gouge right there, and then the part where the mud is where it was leaking. So Sam's out here plumbering and fixing it and putting it all back together.
With hopefully less leaks.
With hopefully less leaks. But we won't really be able to tell until we turn our water back on. So you were thinking that this isn't... okay. Is this a water supply line for the house?
It seems to be.
Oh, okay. Because you had to turn the water off?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But we don't know exactly where it's running to because it's running parallel to the house?
Yeah. And I don't know if this is just a higher pressure hose, but the 1-inch easy peasy push locks don't work on it, so.
Oh.
And the clamps don't even fit, so.
That's not helpful.
Hose clamp it, I guess, evidently.
Okay.
Assuming, of course, the nipple will go in. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't squish the concrete.
Yes, no. I will definitely keep the dogs from standing on it.
Yeah, this might require heat and more something.
I can get you some, like, cooking spray. Oh, speaking of, I should probably go put the pizza in the oven because I think the oven's probably warmed up by now.
Okay. Guess it'll just be me cursing anyway.
Okay. But there's some really cool scissory cuttery things that...
Tubing cutters that Brandy hadn't seen me use.
Yeah, that I haven't seen, but they worked awesome. Okay, so we'll pause and check on progress in a little bit.
Leaking?
I don't see any.
Okay. It's better than it was then.
That is way better than it was. So what did you have to go to town for?
Fittings.
Oh,
both that brass nipple and the fancy push lock.
Oh, okay.
It's funny, the push locks I've always hated,
Mm-hmm.
and they were more expensive. Yeah, brass is ridiculous now, so
Oh.
it's more expensive.
So then we have some extra parts we don't need because...
I intentionally bought
Oh.
quite a few extra because this size pipe is something that we will run into with the pig's water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, being able to patch it sooner than later seemed handy.
Yeah.
Basically, if I need one, I always buy
100%. Especially when a trip to town is at least 45 minutes round trip.
Yeah, this one was quick and it was an hour, so I knew where my fittings were.
Well, that is pretty slick. So now you're just gonna tractor the slab back in and...
I'm gonna leave it for a day or so,
Oh,
just to make sure.
that's smart.
Oh. Saves digging it up again.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it was probably too much fun.
Wasn't that bad, surprisingly. So we need to throw a whole bunch of sharp rocks back in there.
Yeah. Wiggle them around really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it sounds like you turned the water back on?
Yeah.
That's cool. So now we have water in the house. There's no water running out here that we can see.
No water out the house.
It was kind of weird though, because like the puddle just got a little bit bigger every day, but it didn't ever turn into like a big...
So when I uncovered it, it was squirting pretty good, but all the rock and stuff contained it somehow.
That's funny. That was kind of what was confusing us during, like, how is it not just becoming a flood? It just gets to a certain level and just hangs out there. But anyway, glad it was a fairly easy fix. Lots of time driving to town and back, but yeah, thanks for watching.